Fall camp coverage of Liberty football continues on libertyflames.com, joined by freshman Alex Probert. And we talk a lot to the position players, Alex, about fall camp. This is entering week 3 for this team. What about the kickers? How laborious does camp get for kickers and snappers, and where are you right now?
Well, I mean, we're having a lot of fun out here. Obviously, it's the 3rd week for us, but we're just kind of going in with the same kind of schedule each day, making sure that we're doing everything the same way so that we can be consistent with what we're doing on the field and off the field. But, I mean, a lot of people might think it gets boring for us. We find ways to pass the time, keep it upbeat, but, I mean, we're just having fun out here, and it's been a great experience so far.
I've seen a couple of practices at the end anyway, and you've been tested a little bit. Coaches kind of put you in the frying pan. I heard him today, you kick. If it's good, no gassers. If it's no good, you'll run 2 of them. So he's kind of implementing some game situations for you, and how do you take that on and focus here on practice?
So, I mean, one of those ways that we do this and why we do this is basically to throw me in the frying pan, like as if it was a game situation. Make sure, pressure's on the line, you can be able to do it with all these guys standing around you waiting to run or not run. They throw water in my face. They all yell at me, and it's a good way to prepare me for the games because, I mean, I'm a freshman. I'm getting used to all this stuff. But it's definitely good. I enjoy that aspect because, number one, I get to make the team feel happy with me that I made the kick, but it also is a good way for me to focus for, Virginia Tech and all the other big games that we'll have coming up here.
Alex, you and I have talked a lot about your relationship with John Lunsford, who just finished his career here last fall. And he means a lot to you and kind of helping you along and get you used to what it's going to be like playing football here in college. So tell me about that relationship and what you've kind of gleaned from it so far.
Well, I mean, it basically started last summer. I came and kicked here for Coach Stam, and I had met John that second day that I was here. All smiles. He came up, gave me a big handshake. Great guy. And kind of since then, not as much now because he's busy with his NFL stuff going on, but kind of before this summer, I would text him just to be like, hey, man, what kind of advice can you give me coming into this season? Is there any tips that you wish you would have known as a freshman coming in? Just kind of the basic stuff. But he's definitely a great guy. I'm really thankful for having met him, and he's just given me a lot of tips to help me be successful here.
Last time you and I talked, Alex, we talked a little bit about your life off the field. How about kickers you admire and ones that you looked up to growing up? Who are some of those?
Justin Tucker is probably the one that comes to mind first. Off the field, Justin Tucker sings opera and all the other stuff, so I think it's good to be well-rounded. So I definitely look up to him in that aspect. He finished his career at Texas as one of the most consistent guys there, and I've just kind of always looked up to that consistency, but also just being well-rounded off the field. Blair Walsh, the Minnesota guy, I got to root for the home team. He had some adversity last season, and I also just really like the way that he kind of turned his mindset around to go with the negativity, but also to keep working through it. So I bet those are probably the 2 guys that I would look up to the most, but I've never met either one, so hopefully someday I'll get to.
Do you sing opera?
I can, but I'm nowhere near as talented as those 2, or Tucker would be, yeah.
You want to give us a note here?
Probably not right now.
Okay,
maybe some other time.
Okay. How about when you first started kicking? What are your first memories of kicking the football?
I started place kicking in 7th grade. It was a little bit more of a fun thing to do. Kids weren't really running out to be the kicker, but I basically had another teammate that was doing it better than I was, and I wanted to be the kicker. I just thought it was enjoyable. So I could go out to the field, my backyard. I'd kick in the house. My parents wouldn't like that as much, but just kind of doing every little workout thing that I could do to get better as a kicker. I eventually met my kicking coach in Minnesota. His name's Chris Hughesby. He helped me get the finer tune stuff going, but I started 7th grade. It probably picked up throughout my sophomore year of high school, and I've just fallen in love with it since. So it's just something that once you start doing, you just fall in love with it. So I just really enjoy doing it.
One more thought here, Alex. We're under 2 weeks until the first game at Virginia Tech. Have you started to daydream a little bit about what that day is going to be like on September 3rd?
Yeah, it's a lot of mental focus, I would say. Right now, Trey and Hunter and I, and Cole Gibson as well, the other kicker, we're definitely getting our physicality right now on the field. But for me right now, the biggest thing is going to be preparing to walk out onto a crowd of that size. So I'm not used to that yet, but I've had all the guys around me just giving me tips and stuff like that to help me be ready for that day. And a little bit of daydreaming's gone with it, but I'm just thanking God because every day we're living the dream right now, so it's been great.
Absolutely, Alex. We appreciate your time. We're glad you're a Flame, and welcome here to campus. Okay.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Freshman kicker Alex Probert from Andover, Minnesota.